Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So we're just going to get everybody back on screen here and we'll get started. I hope you all had a very productive networking session. I think that was probably a lot of connections to make in a very short period of time. So it's going to be very exciting to hear about what comes next. So the first thing that we're going to do now is we're going to actually just go back and check in with Sam on the progress that's been made on the graphic depiction of today's event. We're super lucky to have Sam here today. She's obviously stellar at what she does, and it's been really exciting just looking at the event chat and seeing all of the comments about how impressed everyone is with the work that she's doing in real time. So, a big thank you to Sam for being here.
Yeah, definitely loving the collisions being captured here. And I see people connecting in the chat around connecting on LinkedIn and whatnot. So keep that going, and we will also give you another way to keep connecting post-event. Maybe we'll go to the next slide. I think we have a few pictures to see from Sam. Working those trust muscles. Is that what we were doing?
That's what you were doing.
Nothing builds trust like humiliating yourself in front of 100 people.
That was amazing. Amber did a fantastic job of that.
Yeah, she's awesome.
All very super impressed. I'm glad that that made it in here. I don't see anything about a chiropractor.
You didn't capture that. Let's check out the next one, Stephanie. Oh, Brad,
amazing.
Your butterflies. Beautiful. Love it. Good depiction there. And we'll go to the next.
There it is.
Close up. Close up. Very cute. Really looking forward to seeing the full picture there. Great depiction of Brad with his purpose bucket, his measure bucket, and his methods bucket. Love it. And there's the whole thing coming together.
So cool. So I think that's just amazing. I think Sam is going to be putting some finishing touches on this after the event. And like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be distributed in digital form for everyone to remember, to be inspired from, and to be able to incorporate these values in the way you work and engage in the ecosystem going forward. So following on that and coming out of the networking events here, it's really important for everyone to think back on, what is it that I committed to, and how can I follow through on this commitment and make sure that the connection that I made today really turns into something. So those connections are absolutely key to the building the 2031 that we're working to build. As we had talked about earlier, that from where we are now, 2021, to where we are going to be in 2023, that future can be entirely different and entirely better than where we are right now. And it's so possible and imperative for everybody within the meeting today to really be a part of that. I think with the past year, it's become very evidently clear because we now understand exponential growth in the context of COVID. One person can make a big difference, and that doesn't have to be in terms of transmitting a pandemic. It can be in terms of building an ecosystem of trust. And so think about, how many connections you can make, how many things that you can do for other individuals within the ecosystem, and how much of an impact you can have on that 2031 to come. So please make sure that you do follow up on those commitments you made today. Really excited to be checking in at some point to get a better sense of what actually came out of today's session. So thank you for your time and engagement. I'm going to pass things over to Bridget. It's been a pleasure to be here with everyone today. And to the point of today's meeting, please find me on LinkedIn. Happy to have a conversation, connect, and hopefully be able to do something for you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brianne. So inspiring. And it was just such a pleasure to have you today. So as Brianne mentioned, we really hope you follow up with the connections you've made today. And we really hope you ran into people you've never met before, because that's trickier to do these days. The slide showing right now is a quote from our fireside chat last month that I think really resonates with what we all just went through this morning. And so hopefully you're able to have a quick read of that quote. And you can also check out the transcription to that event in an email I sent to you earlier this week, but contact us if you'd like it. It's kind of nice to read it instead of listening to it on video, as there was just so many pieces of gold in that discussion with Jim and Greg. So right after this event ends, you're going to get an email that's asking for your consent to share your email address with the rest of the audience here today. So if you wouldn't mind, it's going to hit your inbox right at noon. Can let us know if we can share your email address. It will make connecting post-event easier, but also, of course, reach out to those connections on LinkedIn. So I'd like to offer an opportunity for co-founder of the Rainforest, entrepreneur extraordinaire, author, founding partner of Thin Air Labs, dean and chief catalyst at SAIT's School for Advanced Technology, Jim Gibson, to come up on stage and say a few closing remarks as we begin to wrap up the day. Here he comes.
Thank you, Bridget, and thank you everybody who took a huge amount of time out of their day. We've got so much on the go right now. To spend a little time together is fantastic, and I can tell you we have three sayings that we use a lot, both at Thin Air Labs but also at SAIT now, and I just like to sum up what I saw today and what I'm seeing happen in the ecosystem, and I'd like to share those with you. The first saying that we use all the time is that innovation and change is a relay race, and the baton gets passed. It's not a sprint. The baton gets passed. And I think about when I listen to my dear friend and founder of the Rainforest, Brad, talk about the journey that he's been on as a founder. I think back to those early out of the blocks things that we did back 5 years ago, and with the A100 and the team there and Brad. And as we moved this journey along, we realized that the relay race metaphor really applies here. I passed the baton to the amazing Pete LaFontaine, who grabbed the baton and then passed it to Mackenzie, and then Mackenzie passed it to Courtney, and Courtney to Bridget, and who knows what's next. And so the message of the day on that front is that innovation is a relay race. As we see things that are emerging, I encourage you to think of the baton passing as we move things along. And this movement only happens when we do that baton passing. And the second saying that we use all the time at the Rainforest and others is that culture is a bucket with holes in it. And as a bucket with holes in it, it needs to be consistently and constantly filled by people like this happening today, the conversations that we have. It's hard, and it doesn't just happen. And so when you think of the social contract as your way of continually filling that bucket up in your daily activity, as you look for trust, as you look to pay it forward, and so forth. So that's the next thing. And I'll leave it with this, with the third expression that we use again at Thin Air and at SAIT and the various places, is that we get excited about the innovation of things. We get excited about new ideas and new technologies and new stuff. But in fact, it's really the innovation of ways that the rainforest and the world that we're trying to build here in Alberta is trying to change. And the innovation of ways means helping people see the future in ways that we do, that is inclusive, that is diverse, that is changing and solving the fundamental wicked problems of the planet. And they're not going to happen just by adding more stuff and more things. They're going to come from new ways and new ways of thinking. Our politicians, our people who we work with, all need to see that there's new ways of thinking about this future. And I think that's what the Rainforest is all about. So I'll just close and pass it back to the team. I'm just honored and delighted to always be a part of this group. It's been an extraordinary journey, and I'm just thankful for the work that, Bridget, you've done in organizing this amazing collective of unlike minds, as we like to say, and you've done a fabulous, fabulous job today. And I'm delighted to call you a friend and colleague, and good luck in all that you're doing. So thank you for having me, and best wishes.
Thank you, Jim, very much. And we've been calling on you a lot this year, and you have so much going on. So we're just so happy to always be able to learn from you. So I will make another mention of our supporters today. Another thank you to Alberta Innovates, to Platform Calgary, to Startup Calgary, to Zinc Ventures, and to Ask Betty by Virtual Gurus. Thank you to Amber. Thank you to all of our facilitators today. Thank you to Brianne and Brad. And I hope I'm not missing anyone. But thank you to everybody who helped put this together today. Platform was very supportive in the background in using this hop-in platform. I hope the tech glitches, I hope the rest of the day made up for any of these tech glitches we did see. So before leaving today, and again, I will make mention that the platform will be open for networking. So if you want to connect with new and old friends afterwards, stick around in the networking session. I'm pretty sure you can choose who you speak to, but don't quote me on that. But before we leave today, we'd like to share a little teaser for a project that we've been working on. Mackenzie Bedford, who is an artist and a past community manager, as Jim mentioned, she's here to introduce what she's been working on, but I'll just give a bit of context to where this project came about. So in recognizing how much the innovation world is growing in Alberta, and wanted to create a fun, simple, and lasting way for people to both learn about the rainforest analogy if they're new to it, or be reminded of its importance if they're not. So within the next month, you will probably hear from our Rainforest team in asking for your help to share this project widely as we can. Our hope is that at every innovation and entrepreneurship event, it's in every post-secondary, it's part of your onboarding processes within your startups. It's maybe something you show at the beginning of your own team's internal meetings. We want you to see this video so many times that you know it by heart. Every incubator, every accelerator, office lobbies. Okay, you get the picture. We want everyone to share it widely. It will be a tool for everyone to use in the community to remain rooted in the rainforest analogy. So I'm going to pass it over to Mackenzie to chat a little bit about her creative process in creating the video. And again, we'll have a full video out to show you within the coming month. Hi, Mackenzie.
Hello.
Tell us about what you've created.
I will. Thank you, Bridget. Yeah, first of all, thanks to Rainforest for tracking me down and asking me to work on this really awesome project. No pressure with what Bridget has goals for it. Yeah, this was a really exciting project when Bridget and Courtney approached me for it. Of course, I had to say yes because through my work with Rainforest and community management, I needed to give back in another way. And so working on this project has been really fun. And it's been a really interesting exercise in boiling down what rainforest is. I think we've always asked ourselves that, what is it? Why is it? And from what I've heard in the snippets of this summit, and I think what we landed on in the video is that it's just about trusting each other. It's about giving each other a chance. It's about, pushing each other up and then getting pulled up. So for this trailer, we really had to essentialize an already essential script to give you something cohesive. And so I really hope that you appreciate this labor of love. It kind of turned into something a little bit bigger than I think I ever expected it to. And some inspo behind it. I just really wanted to make sure that it reflected the friendly atmosphere that I always found at Rainforest. I wanted it to reflect the diversity that we always try to exemplify. And I wanted it to be kind of fun to watch. So I hope that I reached those goals, and I hope that you folks enjoy this teaser, and I hope you enjoy the full video once it's complete. Thanks, Bridget.
Thanks, Mackenzie. We'll end with the video. We hope everybody has a great day.
Rainforest Alberta is a movement to amplify trust by cultivating honesty, inclusion, and accountability. How? Our social contract holds us accountable to demonstrate trust across the province. At Rainforest Alberta, we believe a culture of trust is the fertile soil where ideas grow. Our budding innovation ecosystem is a network of relationships pulling each other up as they push forward in their own field. By raising the standard of trust, Alberta's ideas, talent, and resources can be evergreen. Visit rainforestab.ca to sign the social contract and start growing together.